Boss Fight Gaming. Get ready. Fight!
Hey guys, welcome to another Boss Fight Gaming tutorial. Today we're playing Craftopia and we're going for the full 1000G. Now I am doing this video maybe in multiple parts, I don't know yet. I am filming it in stages, so I don't know whether it's going to be one big video or a few smaller videos. But either way, it's going to be the full 1000G. If you are new to our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. As you'll see by this video, we do go out of our way to make great content videos with a lot of information in the most simple way to help you get those achievements. So yeah, please consider going over to our YouTube channel and giving us a sub. We are trying to grow there, so any help will be much appreciated. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are playing Craftopia today. This is free on Game Pass as of September 2021, so in the future it might not be the case, but as it stands right now it is. And this game is a sort of crafting type exploring dungeon fighting game, and it's actually really good, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I have. I haven't even finished it, but I have worked on getting the achievements more than actually playing the game, just so I can help you guys get those. So yeah, we're going to jump straight in, then let's get going. So from the main menu, we are going to create a new character and also a new world. So on my screen, as you can see, from the menu, I press new game, but I'm going to delete the character that I've already made. And this is the screen that you'll see where it says select player. You need to create a new character, so just press new. Now I am going to skip the customization screen, so if you want to pause the video until you've made your character, that's absolutely fine. But I am just going to use the generic character that the game starts me with. So I'm just going to press start to create the character. As I mentioned, if you want to create a character, just pause the video until you've done that, and then you'll be all caught up. So I'm going to call my character Red. I have no idea why, but that's the name I went for. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom and press create. Now once that's finished loading, it will ask you to press this button. I am just going to skip it. You can do it if you like. It gives you a little bit of a cutscene and takes you to like a prequel sort of area. I'm not going to bother. Once you're on the main menus, the world select screen, sorry, we are going to create a new world by pressing the menu button, and then we're actually going to name it main. I hope that you guys do that as well. You can call it whatever you want really, as long as you remember that this is your main world, because we will need to create more worlds later in the game, just so that we can get some of these achievements. It is also worth pointing out, this game does have a lot of random aspects. Like when you open a new world, for me it could be a completely different world than it is for you. All the minerals and mining stuff in the world could be different for you as it is for me. So if for any reason you take a little bit longer to complete this game, it may be down to the fact that the game is a bit more random and you haven't had as much luck as maybe I have. Some players might have a lot of luck and be able to get them all really easily. A few of you may struggle a little bit because of the randomness and the luck aspect of the game. But anyway, we're going to create a world, name it main or whatever you want, as long as you go and remember that is your main world. Then it'll bring up this introduction screen. You can just skip through this or read it, it's really up to you. I am going to just go through it though, so just skip through this and get into the world. So once we're actually in the world, we will start on this dock with all these people. You can talk to them, they explain some of how the game works, but we don't really need to do that. We're going to head straight onto the island and head left slightly, say 11 o'clock, up through the trees here, and keep heading up towards 11 o'clock. And just keep following up past these chickens and past these logs, and head over to the left over here. Keep following up to the left, and eventually you will see a drop the other side, and just down below you there should be a bear. So if you look down, there is a bear. We are going to let this bear kill us because we need the achievement for dying. You probably get this naturally at some point, but we're just going to get it done here and now, right at the beginning of the game. Let ourselves die. Now there is a couple of other ways you can die. This is pretty slow. I am going to speed up the video here just while he kills me, but it will take him a couple of minutes to kill you because of his level. If you got a level 5 bear, it could kill you really easily. If you got level 0 or 1 bear, it may take a little while like it does for me. The other methods of dying is by jumping off a high place and taking damage. There's not really many places on this level you can do that. And there's also burning yourself. You can craft a fire using wood and stone and then burn yourself to death. However, I think it's just easier to get this bear to do it. So as I mentioned, I'm going to speed it up a little bit here just while the bear kills me. So if you want to pause the video until you caught up, that's absolutely fine, but just let the bear kill you. So once you're dead, achievement unlocked, congratulations, you do have your first achievement. Remember to give us a sub, like or comment to help support our channel. Once we spawn back in, we'll be back on the docks. We're just going to head straight forward, and we're just going to do some simple things just to get things going. They might not seem relevant, but in the long run they are. You can open this chest just to the right of the docks, and then we're going to actually latch onto this rock by jumping onto it and holding onto it. It's like a climbing motion. We're just going to do that. It's one of the tasks that we need to do, so just jump on the rock until you grab on it like that, and then that's all you really need to do there. Then afterwards, we're just going to head over here, and we're going to punch some stuff. So just punch this rock. It might not be a rock for you, it might be iron or copper. However, we just want rocks, so just find a rock. It looks just like this that it does on my screen. Punch it and collect some stone. We're not going to need loads, so just collect quite a little bit, but not too much. You haven't got to stand there all day. Say about 20-30 seconds. Once we've caught enough or collected enough, we will move on. So yeah, just punch the stone until you're happy with the amount that you have, and then just head up here, and we're going to start punching bushes. There should be plenty of bushes around for you. Collect the wood and the straw from the bushes, and just keep punching the bushes. You can even do it on a tree if you like, but we're just after the wood mainly, so yeah, just keep punching those until you're done. Then we're going to head back down to the beach over here, and then we're going to press the menu button, 3-line button, and then at the top of our screen, you can't see it on my screen because I've covered it up with the YouTube address. However, we are going to press right bumper or RB to go to the craft menu, and then we're going to go down to new creation, and we are actually going to create a workbench. Now I don't have enough wood, so I'm going to come back over here and punch some more bushes. It does tell you on the screen when you're in the craft menu how many of each thing you need to create it. I didn't have quite enough wood, so I'm just going to collect some more. If you did, just create a workbench and then place it down on the beach. So again, I'm just gathering some more wood. It takes a little while when you don't have any tools, but I have enough. So once I've got my wood and I've also got my stone, I'm going to come down here to the beach. I'm going to press the menu button. I'm going to say start from now on. So if I say start, it just means the menu button. Just to avoid any confusion, because that's what I always call it. So press start, bring up the craft menu by pressing RB, and then go down and create a workbench. Then press start again and go down to your building stuff and click on X to equip your workbench, and then place it down. You may want to play around a little bit with how the menu works, like your inventory and stuff, just so you get used to it. I will try and explain the best I can as we go, but you may want to explore that a little bit anyway. So we're going to press X on the workbench and create a stone pickaxe, and we're also going to create a stone, well, it's technically a wooden axe. It's called a wooden axe, which, yeah. So create a stone pickaxe and a wooden wood chopping axe. Then we need to equip them. You can do that on your quick selection menu at the bottom of the screen there by pressing right and left bumper, RB, or you can go into your inventory and select them there. You just need to press Y to actually select them. So once you go on your quick menu and move over to them by pressing left or right bumper, just press Y to actually select them. And it's the same with anything that's on your quick menu. That's how you operate it. So left and right on your bumpers, and Y to select something that you want from your quick menu. You can press down your D-pad to these three rows. Press down your D-pad to go to the next row, and down again to go to the next row. Also, pressing right on your D-pad will also bring up your map. So if for any reason you need your map in the future of playing this game, you just press right on your D-pad and you'll bring it up. That's pretty straightforward information, really. So yeah, once we have collected some stone and wood, some more now using our action pickaxe, we're actually going to come down and build a glider. You have to click on the workbench, go down to your glider and press X. Now every time we make something, don't forget to pick it up afterwards. It just leaves it on the bench or on whatever it is that you've made it on. So we always press X to pick that up, so just keep that in mind. Whenever you see me craft something, I'm always going to pick it up. If I don't pick it up there and then, I'll pick it up at some point when I need it. So yeah, you can select your glider from the main menu by pressing the start button and go into your inventory, and then you can literally drag it down onto your quick menu. But since we don't have anything in our quick menu, it automatically put it in there for the time being. Anyway, once we have a glider, we're going to head up to a high point. So we're just going to climb up this little hill over here. So come up to this little hill yourself, and we're going to jump off and then press A to use it. Now, don't forget to equip it with Y. Always equip something. If you need something, we always equip it with Y. Or we can equip it from our inventory by pressing X inside the inventory. But yeah, go to a high place, press A to jump, and then A to use your glider. You don't need to hold it, you just need to tap it once. Then we're going to go down and we're actually going to build an altar. So go into the workbench and build an altar of civilization. There is 2 altars in the game. There's the altar of civilization and the altar of transport. We are making the altar of civilization for now. I think it's the civilization anyway. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it's this small one. So we're going to make that. I make it just a little bit further up the hill, just so it's out the way of all my other stuff, like my crafting stuff. I would recommend you guys do the same. Just build it a little bit further away from your stuff, because you'll only have to come here 4 or 5 times throughout the game to get things done. So we are going to upgrade our skills after that. So first of all, we need to press start. Then we need to press our right bumper twice, in fact, to go over to, it might be 3 times. Anyway, just go over to skills, and then once you're in the skills menu, we need to upgrade some of our skills. The first one being the dodge action, which is under basics. Then we're going to press our right and left trigger to switch through the others, and we're going to upgrade our heal. We're actually going to upgrade that 3 times, so press X on it 3 times. So we're going to upgrade our dodge once, and under magic, we're going to upgrade our heal 3 times. Now we do need to select this and add it to our menu. You do that by pressing A, and then once you've pressed A on it, it will allow you to add it to your quick menu. Depending on how you play, you can add it to wherever you want. I am going to add it over here on the left just for the time being. But yeah, don't forget to add your heal magic onto your quick menu, just so that you can heal yourself just like so whenever you've taken damage. And then that is like one of the most important things I found in the game, just the ability to be able to heal yourself without food or potions. So yeah, once you've done that and added that to your quick menu, we are going to do a few more things. So we're going to equip our pickaxe very quickly, and we're going to head over this way, and we're going to find some brown rocks, which are copper. It's sort of a browny purple looking, depending on your colors, the color of your screen. For me, they're slightly purple, but they are like a browny color as well. So yeah, we're going to mine these copper rocks, and we're just going to mine all 3. They might not be copper for you, but I would recommend just having a quick look around and mining 3 or 4 copper rocks, just so you got a bit of copper in your inventory. Once we've done that, we are going to head back towards the beach. In fact, no, we're not. We are going to go and kill some sheep. So you can use your tools that you've just got, or you can just use your fist. I would recommend using a tool. It'd be a lot easier. So yeah, whenever you're ready, just select your tool and kill a sheep. Now they do kick, so careful of them. They don't hurt you, I don't think, but they do knock you to the floor. Pick up the wool and the animal flesh once you've done that, and then head over to the left. We're just going to click on the altar just for a second, just so I can see what we need to upgrade it. On the right hand side there, it says agricultural age, and then it tells you what you need for progression. We need 3 animal flesh, so much copper, so much stone, and so much wood. Now the font on my screen is very small because I am recording the voiceover afterwards. So as long as you look on the right hand side there, it will tell you what we need. I am going to be going through that anyway. But yeah, so we need 10 wood, I believe, so much stone, so much animal meat, and whatever the other one was, copper. So we're just going to get some more wood because we saw that that was red. So we need some more wood. So we're going to collect some more wood here, and then we're going to click back on the altar just to see where we're at. So I have enough wood now, I have enough stone, I have enough copper, and I have enough animal flesh, which is animal meat. So once I'm ready, and I've got all those things, I'm just going to press X. That will upgrade my altar and allow me to make new things, and I'll also get my second achievement of the game, which is Age of Agriculture. Don't forget, guys, another achievement in the bag there. Don't forget to give us a sub. It takes a couple of minutes. Pause the video and just give us a sub. Help support our channel, and we'll continue to make videos just like this to help you get easy peasy achievements. Afterwards, we're going to go back down to the beach, and we're going to click on our workbench, and we're going to build 2 furnaces. So you just go across here to furnace. It's under one of the tabs there. So we're going to go down, click on a furnace, stone furnace. Again, the font is very small on my screen, so I can't really remember what it says. I think it's something along the lines of main creation or something like that. But we need 2 of these. So if you don't have enough logs or stone, just go back up by the trees, get some more. We need 20 of each. At the moment, you can see on my screen, I have 13 stone and 16 logs. I am actually going to set one off. In fact, do I make 3? I might make 3 actually. So I might need an extra 20 of each. So I'm just going to mine some more stone. Don't forget to switch to your pickaxe. Pick up a bit of stone. You can keep an eye on how much you've got on the right of the screen. Whenever you're picking it up, it does tell you. So the number goes up as long as you're doing it in quick concession. It does tell you. So at the moment, I've got 25 stone. So I know that's enough because I only need 20. And I now have 3 logs. Just keep collecting the logs. You can either get them from bushes or trees. Again, just keep picking them up. Again, it only tells you what you've picked up recently though, so if you've still got some in your inventory, it won't tell you how many you've got in total until you actually walk over some. So yeah, I've got enough logs there, and I've got enough stone. So I think I do make 3 then. So yeah, I made one there. So yeah, make 3 furnaces, guys. So go down to, I think it's main creation. I can't really see it properly, but I think it's main creation. And we're going to click on that, and we're going to make 3 furnaces in total. You can actually change the number of what you're creating at the bottom. If you look at the bottom right of your screen where it's on about how much you're going to craft, if you press right or left trigger, it puts up the number of what you're going to create, as long as you've got the materials to do so. Or you can press Y to create maximum amount with the materials that you have. Have a little play around with crafting. I would recommend it just to see what I mean. But yeah, you can create more than one thing at one time by pressing right trigger or Y for maximum. So yeah, once we've done that, we're going to go into our inventory. They are in our quick menu because there's space for them. However, if they weren't there for you because you picked up extra stuff, just go into your inventory by pressing start, the menu button, and then going down to them and pressing X to equip them. And then you just need to place them down on the floor. I think it's right trigger to place them down. And yeah, so basically just place your 3 stone furnaces on the beach or whatever you like, as long as it's close by. And then once we've done that, we are actually going to create some copper ore, I believe. So just go down to copper ore, and you can press your right trigger to make a certain amount, or you can press Y to craft the maximum amount. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to craft the maximum amount of copper that we have by pressing Y and then press on craft. I would recommend collecting a little bit more copper if you can. Again, it is these brown rocks over here. So just get your pickaxe out, and whenever you're ready, we are going to break some. But that's only if you need it. If you don't need it, if you've got plenty, say 20 or 30 copper. I'd say 30. Go for 30 copper just to be on the safe side. That should be enough to get you going. So create 30 copper, and you should be well on your way. You can just collect stone and wood every now and again, because you need so much stone and wood on this game. Every time you're waiting for something to sort of be crafted, or you're waiting for something to be smelted in the furnace, for example, I would just recommend maybe go and collect a few stones, collecting a few pieces of wood, just to sort of get yourself ready for when you need those things in the future. So once you're at 20, you can come across here, and we are actually going to create a copper pickaxe. So take 20 and create a copper pickaxe. You don't need all 20. We will need some of them for something else very soon. But just craft a copper pickaxe. And once we've done that, we are actually going to switch out our our old pickaxe with our new one. So press start, go onto the menu and press on A to select it. We're going to drag it all the way down to the bottom of our quick menu and put it on top of our stone pickaxe. This way our stone pickaxe will go into our inventory, and it will no longer be on our quick selection menu, and that way we won't get confused between the two. You can do that with any item. Basically, go onto your inventory, press A on it, and then drag it down to your quick selection menu. Again, there is 3 rows to your quick selection menu. If you want to put something on the second row, you would have to bring that up before you came into the menu, and again with the third. But I've literally just used the first most of the time. First menu. I don't really go into the second or third because I don't really use that much stuff that I need to that quickly anyway. So anyway, yeah, once you've selected your thing, we are good to go. Now, you can delete some of your stuff in your inventory that's not important. I would recommend getting rid of any sort of seeds and basically any junk that you pick up. There is some things that you may consider junk, so you might want to keep them to one side. But things like seeds, you want to delete them straight away. You can do that by going into your menu, pressing Y when you're in your inventory, and pressing A on something. It will highlight it blue. Then you will need to press X to delete it. Then it'll ask you if you're sure you want to delete it. So if ever you got junk, you just want to make some space, go into your inventory, press Y, press A to highlight it, and then delete it. Anyway, afterwards we are going to collect some iron. It is like a light sort of greyish blue colour with a red stone. I'd say red, might be brown looking to you, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to collect as much iron as possible. And you can open these chests and stuff. But again, each stone on the level is different. So for me, these could be all iron. For you, they might all be copper. But there should be enough iron around, hopefully, fingers crossed, that you're able to select it. So just collect a little bit of iron, as much as you can. I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit here as I explore the island. You haven't really got to be worried about dying on the island, because there's only the bears, really, that can cause you any damage. There's a skeleton, a couple of monos, but they're not really that scary. They don't really do much damage, so don't really worry about them. Oh yeah, I just remembered actually. So if you come over to the right here, there is a bear, which is sort of to the right of where you first start. Right side of the island, depending if you're looking from the docks to the right over that side, there is a bear. Same with the island, there's one to the left, there is one to the right as well. We're going to switch to your pickaxe, come across here and kill the bear, and you will get your next achievement, and that is just for killing a bear. So yeah, kill the bear. And then we're going to, like I said, I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit here while you collect some iron. Again, you can't open chests. Feel free to open chests. The only thing I would recommend not doing is going in any of the, I forgot what they're called now, dungeons. Don't go in any of the dungeons just yet. We will go in them eventually. We don't really need to go in them just yet. So yeah, just collect some iron, and then once you've collected some, you should be good to go. So yeah, just explore the island a little bit, collect some chests, collect some iron, and as soon as you've done that, we're going to make our way back to the beach. During this little exploration for iron, I would recommend trying to get between 50 and 70 pieces of iron ore. You can check how many you have in the menu. Just press pause and scroll down to the materials, or I forget what the subcategory is called, but they're right at the bottom. Go and have a look how much iron you've got. So you want between 50 and 70 really. So once you've got between 50 and 70, we are actually going to head back to the beach. So once we're back at the beach, guys, we are going to go over to our workbench, and we're going to go down and craft a fireplace or a campfire. Now you will need stone and logs to do this, so if you don't have them, just go over and collect some from behind you on the island somewhere. So stone and wood. Once you've collected them, we're going to place our campfire in the middle of the beach. So again, you can find it on your quick menu if you haven't picked up too much stuff. If you picked up too much stuff, just go over into your inventory and equip it from in there, and then just place it in the middle of the beach. Now, I would recommend cooking some food and maybe eating a little bit. The reason for this is it is a part of your mission tasks. It's not really important for your achievements, but it will help your XP to go up just a little bit. So maybe cook 3. And just to let you know, campfires can be used to push you up in the air if you have your glider with you. So if you need to get to somewhere and you have a campfire with you, you can. Now I did leave my game on running there just for a little while, and it's not really important in the long run. However, if you notice anything's changed slightly, including the weather, time of day, etc., it's just because I left my game running just a little bit there. So yeah, once you've cooked the food, eat it. And then once we've done that, we're going to head up into the grassy area, and we're going to chop some more trees down. So you can go over to the bushes. Sorry, we're going to go for bushes actually, because we need some of the straw as well. So yeah, chop some bushes down using the axe to collect some more wood and some straw. You may have noticed to pick some seeds up there. The green orbs that you've got the ray of light coming out the top of them. Again, we don't need these for our achievements. If you want to save them. So at the moment, just to confirm what I'm doing, I'm going to go around hitting as many of these bushes as possible. I'm going to be collecting as much straw as possible and as many logs as possible, because we're going to use them to create wheat fields. Now we need 16 wheat fields in total. Go down to your workbench and have a quick look at how many you can craft. Don't craft them straight away. Just keep going out and bashing some bushes until you got enough ingredients to make 16 of them. So just keep coming back to bushes, hitting the bushes, collecting the straw, collecting the logs until you got enough to create 16 wheat fields or wheat farms, whatever you want to call them. You need 16 of them. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit here, guys, but just keep going until you got enough to create 16 wheat fields. So yeah, we're just going to run around, bash as many bushes as possible, collecting logs, collecting straw, all from these bushes. You kind of hit a couple of trees if you want to get some of the logs from there, but I would recommend getting the straw from the bushes. And once we got enough, we are going to go back to our workbench, and then we are going to craft 16 wheat fields. So we need 16 wheat fields, guys. Make sure you collected enough crafting materials of wood and straw to craft 16 wheat fields. Now while those grow, while they're getting crafted, you can go and break some more trees or stones, or you can be lazy like me and just stand around and wait for it. So once you have 16 wheat fields crafted, by the way, if you see any poo on the floor, it's like a pink coloured pile of poo. I don't know why it's pink, but that's what colour it is on this game. Do collect it, you will get an achievement. Humans poo right below themselves, all animals poo right below themselves, including yourself. When you pick up the poo for the first time, you will get an achievement. That might not be there for you because I actually let the game run for a little while in the background when the fire was cooking, so you might have to wait a little while before you get that, but you will get it at some point, so don't go out your way to try and get it now. It's not necessary. But we are going to create our farm now. So get your wheat fields, and we're going to create them in a 4x4 square, preferably on the beach or somewhere as flat as possible. Don't worry about the little steps. That's not really something to worry about, but we were making them in a 4x4 square anyway. You may need to break some rocks, break some barrels to do so. So yeah, if there's something in the way, just break some rocks, break some barrels. Those little things like shells and stuff you don't need. So if you see any of them on the floor, unless you are going to be playing the game in the long run, you won't really need to collect them. If you are playing the game in the long run, feel free to craft some boxes, some crates and some containers, and put all these little knickknacks in there for future reference, and then you can use them and find them whenever you need them. But yeah, we're going to create a 4x4 grid, so 16 in total, 4x4 grid of wheat fields. Then we're going to come back over here and we are going to craft some more things. So just scroll down to the bottom and we're going to look for an empty bucket. We need some wood for those. We are going to craft 10 to begin with, and we're going to go onto our menu and select them. In fact, we're going to craft 20. Sorry, my apologies. Go and craft another 10 if you didn't. So craft 20 buckets, and then we're going to fill them all in the water here. All you need to do is equip them, and then come in the water and just keep pressing left trigger, and that will fill the buckets. So we need to fill all 20 buckets. It's going to take about a minute or so just to fill these, and then we're going to use these to water our fields. Just in regards to the wheat fields, you don't need to put any seeds down or anything like that. As long as you've crafted the wheat fields, all you'll ever need to do is just add water to them, and then they will grow and grow and grow and grow. It's really easy, the wheat fields. Now, Other planting is a little bit more complex, but we don't need to do any of that in this game tutorial. If that's something you're interested in, I would recommend, once you've completed the game, the achievement should I say, then maybe going back and looking into that. But we don't need to do that at all. We are just going to concentrate on these wheat fields. So yeah, once we've got 20 buckets filled, we are going to select the filled buckets, because empty buckets and filled buckets are classed as two separate things completely. We're going to drag them down onto our quick selection menu, and then we're going to press Y to quit them. You can just quit them from your menu, but I find that a little bit awkward, because then you can never find them in the quit menu if you ever need to switch back to them quickly. So I recommend just putting them in your quit menu somewhere. And when we're watering plants, it's actually best to try and stand a little bit back from the middle, and you should be able to spray the water over 4 squares. Don't worry about it too much, just a little bit of practice, you will be able to hit 4 squares with one throw of the water bucket. So yeah, just basically get those going, and once they're going, we're going to make our way back to the workbench, and we're going to go down and we're going to create ourselves a detector. It looks like a little sonar under accessories. We're going to create 2 of these, in fact. So create 2 detectors, press start in your menu, and go over to them. So press start in your inventory, go over to a detector and press X to equip it. Don't worry about it being in your hands or anything like that, it will just be on your side and you won't need to do much else with it. If you didn't collect the copper from before, please do that now. And we are actually going to craft 10 charcoal. For some reason I do 99 here, I believe. I have no idea why. But I would recommend just doing 10, guys. So yeah, 10 charcoal there. Once you've set 10 charcoal, you need wood for that, by the way. If you don't have any wood, you might need to go and collect some. So yeah, just 10 charcoal. Afterwards, we're going to go down and we're going to look at building a furnace. Not a furnace, sorry, a blacksmith. I don't quite have enough materials to do so, so I'm going to go and chop some trees just so I can make our blacksmith. Again, that's under the workbench. So just come and break some trees if you don't have enough to make the blacksmith. If you do, just make the blacksmith and yeah, your job is good, and just wait for me to catch up, really. So yeah, I've just broke a couple more trees. Again, you might need a bit of stone, a bit of trees, whatever you need. Just do that. And then we're going to create a blacksmith. We only need 1 of these. So just create 1 blacksmith. Press X to pick it up. And then we're going to select it from our quit menu. Again, if your quit menu is full and it's not there, go into your inventory by pressing the start button and equipping it, and then placing it on the floor next to our workbench. So yeah, now we have those. That's fantastic. We can come over and collect our wheat. If you have a tool in your hand, I would recommend moving over to the hand on your quick menu and pressing Y, just so you take out any weapon in your hand, so you don't damage the farm. You know, the wood and the sand, whatever it is. You can actually damage that if you're hitting it with. You can damage it just by using your fist, to be fair, but it's not as much damage as if you are using a weapon. So yeah, just keep going around and collecting all the wheat. Bash each one by punching it, then running around in a circle to collect all the wheat from each square, and again do that to each of the 16. And you should actually get your achievement here for harvesting 100 crops. You should get that the first time. If not, you'll probably get it your second time, so you don't really need to go out your way to do anything there. So once we are ready, we can then re-water our crops. So we're just going to use our bucket full of water on the crops there. Again, if you don't have enough water, just nip into the sea with an empty bucket and fill that back up, and make sure to equip the filled bucket. Then once we've done that, we are okay to sort of carry on with our other tasks. So come over to the workbench. We do need a little bit of charcoal to create a cooking pot. So we can either go grab a little bit out of the ones that we have running, or we can just set a little bit more off while we wait. Again, whatever you're waiting for something to do, charcoal does take a little while to sort of go through the furnace. So if you are waiting for charcoal, I would just recommend maybe breaking some stones, breaking some iron, copper, wood, etc. just as you wait for these furnaces to craft the charcoal for you. So yeah, once you have enough charcoal and you've collected it from the furnaces, we're going to head back over to our workbench, and we're actually going to create a cooking pot. We're actually going to create 2 cooking pots, just because we do need these quite a bit to help us create our wheat bags, as I like to call them. So yeah, just grab 2 cooking pots, and we're just going to move them over near the wheat fields, just because that's the main place where we're going to use them. And basically we need to craft some wheat bags at some point, so wheat in bags, and the way we do that is to actually cook them in a pot. I don't know how that works, but that's the way it works. You don't need a grinder, you just need to cook them, according to this game. So once you set the cooking pots down, we're going to head over and we're going to actually smelt some iron. So we're going to put some iron in. We're going to actually put all of it in. So press Y to put max down. Now you can divide them between the 3 furnaces if you want to speed it up maybe a little bit. But we're just going to put the iron on smelt to smelt sort of in the background while we use whatever we need to craft things. So I'm just going to wait for around about 10. So at the moment we're on 8. There's 9. There's 10. So I'm going to grab 10. Just leave the other ones in there for the time being if you have enough, and just use the 10. We're going to come over to the blacksmith, and we're going to create our first iron sword. So press A to craft an iron sword, and we're going to pick that up there. Yeah, we have a one-handed iron sword. You can use double-handed weapons on this game, but I would recommend just sticking to the one-handed swords and dual wielding, but I'll explain that later. So we are going to create some old rags from the workbench. You do need straw to do these, so if you haven't got any straw, go and bash some bushes. And you need 5 old rags in total. So from the workbench, we're just going to create 5 old rags. So yeah, once we have our 5 old rags, we are good to carry on. In fact, we are going to go back into the pause menu and level up some more stuff. So press pause and go over to your skills. Then we are actually going to upgrade our triple slash just one time by pressing X, just so we can get down onto the level below. So press X to upgrade the triple slash. So yeah, we will need to upgrade triple slash, and that will open tier 2. Then we'll need to come down and upgrade our dual wield by twice. Now we get 1 point to level up our character after every time we level up. So if you're not level 8 at the moment, you wouldn't have enough to have done that. You need to go and kill some sheep, some cows, maybe the bear a couple of times, just to get to level 8. And then you can upgrade your character in the way I mentioned. So once on the triple slash, and then twice on the dual wield. You need to create yourself a second iron sword, one-handed iron sword. So now you should have 2 one-handed iron swords, and you need to craft some female clothing, which is both done on the blacksmith. So go over to the blacksmith, create another iron sword, and then go over to the blacksmith and create some female clothing, which is at the bottom. Then we need to drag down our swords and put them next to each other on our quick selection bar at the bottom of our screen. Again, we do that by dragging them down from our inventory all the way down and placing them on our quick selection screen. We are going to have to switch our bucket with one of those swords very soon, and we have to do that in our inventory, but we're going to do that in just a little while. But first of all, we're going to come back and collect the rest of our wheat. So just walk over the wheat fields, run around in a circle after we bash each one. Again, if you've got your sword out, you may want to put that away by pressing on the hand in the quick menu bar at the bottom. That puts away our weapon. Anyway, run around, bash all these wheat fields and collect all the wheat. If there's any poo anywhere, again, keep an eye out for poo. You need this later in the game. You'll thank me if you have collected a lot of it to begin with. If you haven't, the end game will be a little bit slow for you, as it is for me. So yeah, any feces that you see anywhere, pink poo basically, be sure to pick it up, remembering that animals of all kinds and humans poo. Anyway, So once we collected our wheat, we're going to head back over to our workbench. And this time we are actually going to create something new. So head down and we're going to create 2 times market. Now I don't quite have enough to make 2, but I would recommend making 2. The reason for this is we can only sell so much stuff at one time per market. So yeah, again, poo there, feces on the floor, animals drop feces. Be sure that anytime you pick up any feces, you pick it up. You will thank me later. If you don't pick up any feces that you find, it will make the end game so much more slower. And again, I will apologize for that once we get there, because it is very, very tedious and a little boring, but we need to do it. So yeah, we're going to collect some more materials to make our marketplaces, remembering that we need to make 2 marketplaces. So when you go to your workbench, have a look at what materials you need to make 2 workbenches, and then come and harvest them. So we're going to head back down to our workbench, and we should now have enough to create 2 marketplaces. So click on our workbench, head down towards the bottom, and click on our marketplaces, which is under the commercial square, I believe. Again, font so small on the editing screen here, but yeah, just 2 marketplaces, and we're going to come over and we're going to place them on the top end of the beach, just next to the grass. I place them on the grass here and they topple over, and I end up doing it twice. Just put them on the sand and they should stand up without falling over. You don't have to pick, if they do fall over, you can leave them that way. It doesn't really make too much difference. I just have a bit of OCD and I have to have them straight. So I pick them back up. By the way, just thought I probably should mention this now. If you put something down and you want to pick it back up, just look at it when its name's on the screen, Alt X for a short period of time, and it will place it back into your inventory. That's literally for anything really, I believe, including your vehicles. So once we create some vehicles, the best thing you can do is put them away by holding X, and that actually repairs them as well. You'll see why that's important when we get one. So yeah, we're going to come down. You can sell at the shops any tusks, any nails, whatever they're called. I can't think what they're called now. Fangs, any nails, any pelts, you can sell them. Now if any reason you need a pelt, I think you do at some point, if any reason you need pelts, you can get them from foxes and deers on this island, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, go kill a couple of sheeps, pick up any poo that you find, again feces. Sheep have wool, and wool does actually give you quite a good return at the beginning of the game, so I'd recommend selling any wool, any fangs, any talons, etc. Any talons, any fangs, talons. We don't need to be selling wool after this point, only at this point, but afterwards you're absolutely fine to sell talons, leather and fangs. Any of them you can sell, and seeds. You can get rid of any of them. Anything else, I'm not too sure about whether we need them for achievements, so just keep hold of them. But talons, leathers, fangs. So once you've collected a little bit of wool, go over to the market and sell it. Again, selling any talons, any fangs, etc. Bones you want to keep, and anything else really you want to keep for now. And once we've put our sheep wool on sale, and any little knickknacks that we didn't really need, we are going to head over to the left side of the island, and we're going to find our dungeon. Again, if the bear's hanging around, just kill him. You do get quite a nice little bit of XP there. Any iron that you see around the island that you haven't already collected, again, recommend collecting that. It's very important. And then we are going to head into the dungeon. It's just around the left hand side where the bear is. There's one on either side of the island, the left and right hand side of the island. Now there are multiple types of dungeons. There are event dungeons where you have to do challenges, and there are Dungeon of Meadow and Dungeon of Island, and also tombs. Tombs and dungeons are for fighting, and event island dungeons are to do events in. We don't need to go in any mines, mine dungeons, abandoned mines, and we don't need to go in any event dungeons. We only need Dungeon of Island, Dungeon of Meadow, and also the tombs. They're the only 3 dungeons that we need to go through in this achievement guide. So if you see any event dungeons that tell you to do timed events or shooting events, etc., don't bother, just avoid them. Anyway, the first dungeon, which is hopefully, fingers crossed, is a dungeon of island or meadow for you. Make your way through it and kill all the enemies inside. If you have still got your bucket in your hand and just one sword, press pause and switch on the right hand side the bucket with one of your swords and also equip it. Any chests in here you can collect because there's sometimes bones and stuff inside which you will need for crafting. Again, you do get bones from skeletons as well. And basically, yeah, just make your way through the dungeon. Again, this dungeon was on the left hand side of the island, and hopefully, because these are random, hopefully you do have a dungeon of island or meadow. Again, I don't know 100% whether there is always one on the island at first, but every time I've played, there's always been a dungeon of island on the island. So fingers crossed, this is dungeon of island for you. Again, the one on the right side of the island can be random. Sometimes it's a dungeon of island, sometimes it's a event, and sometimes it's a mine. But again, we only really need tombs, dungeon of meadow, and dungeon of island. Okay, fight your way through this dungeon. Again, really simple. As long as you've got both your weapons out, you'll fly through it. If you do take a little bit of damage, use your quick heal at the bottom there. You should come up against this guy, the blue golem type creature. When he fires his laser towards you, get behind a pillar because he's about to fire all his weapons at you. Then just come out into the open and bash him. The orb in the center of his chest does take the most damage, so just try and concentrate on that as best you can. If you can't really jump, you're not really used to jumping or anything just yet, just hit his feet really. You can get up onto his chest like you just see me do there, and he does take a lot more damage by doing that. He has 3 different attacks. This one, the laser one, where he'll lock onto you with a laser and then fire stuff after a few seconds. He's got one where he jumps up in the air and tries to squish you. He's got one where he sits on the floor then starts to spin around. If he sits on the floor and starts to spin around, go and stand behind one of the pillars. He'll bash into the pillar, and then you'll be able to hit his orb and kill him pretty much straight away. He does spin his arms and attack every now and again. So when he jumps up in the air, after a couple of seconds, just roll out the way. This is the one where he gets on the floor, try to move out the way and stand next to the pillar. Once he bashes into the pillar, he's very vulnerable. Just whack his light orb, and that will kill him pretty much straight away. Collect any weapons and materials, get your achievement, and then leave. If for any reason it was the snake, you don't get an achievement for the snake, unfortunately. But you will come across another one of these golems, fingers crossed, in another dungeon. We are going to be going through quite a few dungeons in this game. Fingers crossed it was a golem. It's always been the golem for me at the first. I think it's called the golem anyway, but you've seen it anyway. Once you've done that, come into the rewards part of the tomb, go up onto the ledge and start collecting all your treasure chests. Collecting any weapons, etc, etc. And just collect everything basically. Herbs and seeds and food is not really that important. We don't really need them for the achievements. However, weapons, coins, scrolls, and research material is valuable, and we will sell those. When you get to the portal, then don't go through the portal. Switch to your pickaxe. Go around the back of the portal, and there is a secret room here on every single dungeon that I've ever come across, apart from the tombs. And basically, it's always got the best stuff in these chests. There's actually one at the beginning, so I'm actually going to go out of the tomb and back in. And then just around the back of this one here, right at the beginning, there's also a hidden room here with treasure inside. So just come around there and do that yourself and open that. If you have picked up any single-handed weapons, have a look to see if they are more stronger than the weapon that you're carrying. If they are, drag them down and replace your iron swords at the bottom. You know if they're better because on the right hand side you'll have the plus in blue. So if it's 100 damage, you say 100 plus 140 blue. If it's red, it means it's weaker. If it's the same, it means it's the same. So you don't need to change them. But anytime you find a new single-handed weapon that's better than the one that you're carrying, so the writing is blue, switch it out. Make sure you always switch them on the quick selection menu at the bottom. That way you won't confuse them with your other weapons. So yeah, once we've done the dungeon and we've got our achievement for killing the golem, again, if it wasn't in that one, go to the right side of the island and hopefully that is a dungeon of Island 2. Anyway, once you've beaten either 1 or 2 dungeons on this island, I would recommend doing both if they're both dungeons. If they're events, don't bother. Once you have completed the dungeons, head over to our crop fields and our cooking pots, to be more specific, and head over to the wheat bags, and we're going to craft as many of these as possible. So just fill both of the cooking pots with as much wheat flour as possible. I call them wheat bags. They're actually called wheat flour on the cooking pot. But basically just craft as much wheat flour as you can using the 2 cooking pots. You should have plenty of wheat from the times that we've harvested previously. And then once we've done that, we're going to head over to our our blacksmith, and we're going to create a copper shield. Now if you don't have enough copper, again, go over to one of the brown rocks, break a little bit of copper, smelt the copper in the furnaces to get ingots, and then create a copper shield. Again, there's the copper there on the right hand side, you can see. So after your little dungeon excursions, we can sell whatever junk that we don't need. Any shells, we don't need any shells whatsoever. We don't need any feathers. We don't need any tusks or talons. So anything like that we can sell. Any sort of coins that we collected, any research material we can sell, and any weapons that we don't need we can sell. So two-handed weapons, single-handed weapons, whatever. As long as we don't need them, we can sell them. Careful not to sell your strongest single-handed weapons. We need 2 strong single-handed weapons, but anything additional we can get rid of. So yeah, selling any seeds, any sort of bags or anything that don't really improve our stats we can get rid of. Any empty buckets, stuff like that we don't really need, you can sell. You can hold on to any buckets if you want to. After we've sold our junk, we're going to head it up to the monument / shrine, and we're going to upgrade it. To do that, we needed some wheat bags, we needed the shield, and we needed the... After we've upgraded our shrine, altar, monument, we are going to head back down to the workbench, where we are going to create a well. So you can create a well which provides us with water. It's under the farming and livestock breeding subcategory. Click this. You will maybe need to find some of the materials to make this, but they're all found on this island, so you should have absolutely no problems. Craft a wishing well, or a well, whatever you want to call it, and then we need to select it from our menu. So press pause, go down to the well, and then we're going to put it over near our crop fields. So whenever you're ready, just plant it down here over near the crop fields. Now we do need to water our crops again. So if you did sell your buckets and you don't have any with water in, you may need to create a couple more over on the workbench. However, just for the time being, we're going to water all these crop fields, just so that they're all ready to start harvesting very soon. Once we've watered our wheat fields, we're going to head back over to our workbench, where we're going to create a machine factory. We can do that by going to the workbench and heading down and creating a machine factory, sorry. We only need one of these. If you don't have all the materials, again, all these materials can be found on the island, so just select them and craft that from the workbench. Once you've done that, we're going to place it just over to the left on the beach. Then we're going to head back over to our workbench. So press X on the workbench and make your way down. And we are going to craft a shrine of transportation. So press X to create a shrine of transportation. This is a really large structure. We're going to walk onto the docks over here, collecting any poo, feces that the humans have done, if they have or haven't. Don't worry about it too much if you haven't managed to get any yet. And we're going to put it just right at the end of the dock. The reason for this is the place that we always spawn, so it makes sense that it's close to where we spawn. So if we accidentally spawn here and we didn't want to be here, we can just click back on it straight away. It's as simple as that. Once we built a shrine, we're going to click on it, and we're actually going to purchase our first island. Now every island where a question mark is purchased, you will need the right money and materials to do it. It's completely random between every single player, so you may not have the same island as me. The one that I've just purchased, you may have Island of Poison, Snowy Mountain, Desert Mountain, few grass levels, residence, the bridge, a couple of desert maps, map of variety, or a very tiny map. Now, regardless of what you've got, go on to that island you've just purchased, as long as it's not the small island or the poisonous island, and just iron. We're going to mine for iron. So have a look around for some iron, and we're going to try get between 50 and 100 pieces. Again, because our small island that we start on doesn't really have much. Once we collected some iron, we're going to come and purchase our second island, which is the question mark just above our original island. And again, it will be completely random for you. So in regards to it, if you've got 2 poisonous islands, I'm so sorry, you've got the worst luck in the world. However, if you've got a couple of grass ones, maybe a desert or the autumn island, fantastic. We'll go into a little bit more detail about what islands are good and which islands are bad as we go further on. But hopefully you've got an island with a little bit of iron around the place. Go in there, get some, and come back to our main island. Once we're back on our main island, we're going to go across the deck and make our way to the beach. If for any reason your character is hungry, you can see that at the bottom right of your screen. You want 100% being the best, 0 being the worst. Go and cook some food maybe and heal yourself or eat some. Anyway, once we have come back to our island, we're going to head over to the right hand side where all the cows and stuff usually are. You can open the chest if you want to, but it's not necessary. It's really up to you whether you want to do that. Again, chests aren't really, the basic chests anyway, aren't really have anything great in there. So we're actually going to come across here and we're going to kill some cows. So over on the right hand side of our spawn, come over to the right hand side where all the cows are, and we're just going to kill as many as possible. Well, I say as many as possible, say about 5. And then we're also going to pick up some of these little red herbs off the grass nearby, and then head back over towards our spawn. Once we get back to the beach area, we're just going to keep going past. Collect any meat that we may have cooked. If you did, that's fine. If you didn't, don't worry too much about it. Anyway, we're just going to do some harvesting now. So come back to your crops. Hopefully you did water them. If not, you need to water them and grow some crops. And then we're going to harvest them again. Again, you might want to put your sword away by clicking on the hand on the sub menu, just so you don't damage your crop fields too much. We're just going to collect as much of the crops as we possibly can. So just go through all your crops and pick up as much as possible. It's best to walk around in a circle in between each one because they do disappear quite quickly for some strange reason. So it's best to get them all from one before moving on to another. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but this is filmed before I sort of realised what was happening. So yeah, just keep coming back and picking up as much of the wheat as possible. Running around in circles, collecting the wheat. Once we've collected all 16 wheat fields, or 15 for me because I actually missed one, but 16 wheat fields, we're going to head over and pick up some water, and then we're going to water all our crops again. Again, you can do 4 at a time if you stand in the middle slightly back. That bottom one doesn't seem to be the greatest, so you might need to water that separately. As long as you've watered them all, that should be absolutely fine. So once we've watered and collected our crops, we're going to head back over to the cooking pots, and we're going to fill them with our wheat flour again, our wheat, to create wheat flour should I say, or wheat bags like I like to call them. Now you can put half in one pot and half in another, that way you're not sort of standing around as long. It's like done in half the time, technically, you know what I mean. So yeah, just start making some wheat bags in those cooking pots, and then once you've done that, we are going to move on to the next part. So just head over towards the shrine again, over on the docks. Again, you might have different levels than me, but we're only going on the levels for the same thing, so you can't really follow me unless you've got the same worlds. But go to either of the 2 worlds, and we're going to collect some materials there, preferably iron. But again, it doesn't really matter what worlds you got as long as you haven't got wheels of poison. And we are going to mine. If you are the unlucky soul of having 2 islands of poison, you probably need to buy the 3rd island, which is the one up diagonally from the first, and hopefully that isn't an isle of poison as well. If it is, you'll need to create a new save map world from the main menu, but we'll go into that in more detail soon. So we are going to buy our third island. Again, it could be any island. So again, it was the diagonal up one. We do need to buy all 9 of these islands at some point. When I say 9, I mean the bottom left and then moving up diagonally in a 9. So 9 squares, 9 squared. So yeah, that's pretty much what we need to do. So yeah, we're just gonna go and mine as much iron as possible. Again, depending on the world you're in, there should be some right near the portal. Go around and just mine as much iron as possible, really. So we're gonna spend around 5-10 minutes just mining as much iron as possible. So just have a look around the islands that you're on. Again, you don't have to stay on one island. You can go through the teleporter. Any of the 3 islands that you've 4 islands, should I say, that you've unlocked so far, you can go through and get some iron. I was checking to see if these are trees here, but it doesn't actually count as a tree. And again, you can quickly switch to your weapon if needed on your menu, on your quick menu, as long as you put them where I mentioned. But yeah, just keep harvesting iron for around 5 to 10 minutes. Try get, say, a couple of 100 pieces. Hopefully, if you're on the bridge level, there's plenty on that level. If you are on a grass level, you should be fine to find some quite close to the shrine. But anyway, wherever you are, go to the altar of transportation, and anywhere near there, you should be able to get one. And I'm just going to head between the islands, again, just collecting as much iron as possible. So again, you should have 4 islands if you're keeping up with me. 3 on the bottom row, 2 on the next row up. Again, we are working towards eventually having 9 islands open to us, which are the bottom left islands. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So 9 all next to each other in a little square at the bottom. Not 9 in a row or 9 in a column, but 9 in a square. I'm just hoping that makes sense. As long as you're following along with me and doing the same as me, you should be absolutely fine. But again, just spend 5, 10, 15 minutes just going around in between the islands that you've recently unlocked and collect as much iron as you possibly can. The more, the better. If you see any chests or enemies that you want to take on, that's absolutely fine. But just do keep in mind that that will increase your overall speed time of completion. And it's not necessary, really. But yeah, we'll go for some wood, because you need wood and iron and stone to upgrade your islands, to buy new islands, should I say. So just spend a little bit of time getting iron, a little bit of time getting some wooden logs, and yeah, 5-10 minutes of doing that. So once you've got enough iron, wood and stone, we are going to head back to our altar of teleportation, and we're going to purchase the 3rd island on the 2nd row up. Again, it'll be completely different for you. Once you've purchased that and you've got enough materials to do so, we are actually going to head back to our original island. So be sure to head back to your original island, which is always the bottom left island on the island map. Once you're home on your island, head over to the stone furnaces, collect anything that is already done, and then we're actually going to create as much iron as possible. So just add all your iron to the furnaces. Then we're going to head back over to our crop fields, and we're going to basically do them all over again. So be sure to bash them and collect all the wheat from each individual square. Again, all the 16 in total, and it's best to run around in a small circle in between the square to collect all the available wheat. And we're just going to do that for every single square here. Again, this game can be a little bit tedious when you are low level, because you have to do a lot of manual labor. As you get further on, you can make this a little bit more automated and make things to make this a lot easier. However, it would take us more time to get the materials to do that than it would just to do it by hand. So unfortunately, we do have to do a lot of the work ourselves in the early game. So we're going to head over here and collect the wheat bags from the cooking pots, and then we're actually going to put all our wheat back in the 2 cooking pots again, Once we put all our wheat back in the pots, we're going to come over to the workbench and we're going to go down and create some cogs. We're going to create 10 cogs. If you don't have enough iron, you'll have to wait for the ones in the furnace to be ready, but you will need quite a bit of iron to create 10 cogs. So yeah, create 10 cogs on the workbench. Once your cogs are ready, in fact before your cogs are ready, we need to collect 20 water. Hopefully you've got 20 water with you. If not, you can use some of your empty buckets to collect some more, or you can just wait for the well to give you 20. Again, it can take a little while. So yeah, so you need 20 water buckets and 10 cogs. Once you've got the cogs and the water bucket, go back to your workbench and go down and to the power tool selection and go over to the water sprinkler. We need to create one of these. Again, I don't quite have enough water, so I need to get some more. Again, you can either wait for it or you can actually go and collect some from the sea. So yeah, once you've got 20, again, collect it from the sea, collect it from the fountain, the well, whatever's easy for you. We're going to go down and we're going to create a water fountain sprinkler system. I can't think what they're called, but it's this red looking thing under tools. We're going to create one of these and we're going to equip it from our menu. We can go right in the middle of all of them, slap bang in the middle as close as possible. We're going to put it there, and then that should water all 16 of our crop fields all at once. How amazing is that? So once you've got your sprinkler system set up, you can go and collect whatever wheat bags are remaining in the cooking pots. So once we're done with the sprinkler system, we are going to head over to our stone furnaces. We need to set off 20 steel ingots. We need 5 iron ingots per steel ingot, so you will need plenty of iron ingots to get the steel ingots. So again, we need 20. I don't quite have enough ready just yet, but hopefully you do. If not, either go and smelt some more iron ore that you have, or you will need to go and collect some more and then get the right amount of iron ingots to create the right amount of steel ingots. Again, you need 20. So once you've collected your 20 iron ingots, again, I haven't quite got them yet, you will need to come over to the fields, your crop fields, and harvest them again. Just keep doing this until you've collected all the wheat from this field. Again, you no longer need to water it, so just come over and collect all of it. You might have noticed the video did cut before I got back to the field. That's just because I went on a little wander and it was not necessary for you or the achievements. So yeah, just come over, collect all the wheat. Again, it can be a little bit tedious, but it's a lot better now that we have the water sprinkler, let's put it that way. So yeah, come over and we're going to, again, like before, we are going to just put all of it into our cooking pots. Again, you can split it up or not, whatever you think's best. Come over to your workbench and make your way down. So in your workbench, you will need to create 2 aging facilities. These can be found in your workbench. You will need bones, stones, and iron ingots to create them. Bones can be found in the dungeon if you need any. Iron, you'll obviously have to go and get some if you need any and smelt it. Once you've put your cooking facilities down, click on them. Hopefully you've got your wheat in your inventory. You will need to create some bioethanol, which is the green barrel, and basically just to create as much as possible with the wheat that you have. Once we've started to make our bioethanol, we will need to make sure both our weapons are equipped. So go over to your inventory and make sure that your bucket, empty bucket or water bucket, is no longer in your hand by dragging one of your swords over into that slot. And again, make sure that both swords that you are carrying are on your quick selection menu at the bottom, and make sure both those are equipped. Once both of your weapons are equipped, we're going to head over to the shrine of teleportation. Click on the shrine of teleportation and go to any island that is good for iron. You may have figured out which ones are good for iron that you have, but you can choose any of the 6 that you have and just go over there and collect as much iron as possible. Now I would recommend getting at least 200 iron here, So just head around collecting as much iron as possible, and again try to get around 200. If you want to stay a little bit longer and get even more, then probably help you even more, but around 200 should be enough to get things done. I'm going to speed up the video here. You can pause it. Again, it won't really make too much difference because you're probably not even on the same island as me, but just head around, collect around 200 iron ore, and then job is good in. Pause the video until you've caught up. Just while my video quickly plays through, just a friendly reminder, you can delete anything from your inventory by pressing start to go into your inventory, going over, pressing Y should I say, and then highlighting it with A, and then pressing X to delete it. Y, when you're in the menu, is the multi-select tool. Now the things that you need to get rid of again are tusks, seeds, feathers, talons, and things like that. So levers, those are all things that you will need to get rid of to release some of that space for you to collect more iron. Once you've collected around 200 iron ore, we're going to head, again you can check that in your inventory, we're going to head back to the main island, so our home island, and we're just going to head across the dock here. Again, if there's any feces, please feel free to collect that. You can click up your bioethanol if you feel it's necessary. Now we do need to start working towards creating small generators, so go down to those on your workbench and go across to them. They look like big hamster wheels, and find out what ingredients that you need to create them, and then basically go around the island and collecting as much as possible. Just to let you know, you will need the following: 3 steel ingots, 3 cogs, and 15 wood, because we are going to make 3 generators. So that's all the materials that you need. Again, to create steel ingots you will need iron ore, and then create iron ingots from the furnace, and then use the furnace again to create steel ingots. Collect some wood, 15 again we need, but there's no limit to how much wood you need in this game, so collect as much as you like. And then once you have at least 15 minimum, we are going to go back to the workbench and craft our three what are they called again, generators. So come back down to our workbench and craft our 3 generators. You may notice that sometimes, guys, that you need some materials. It could be that I've forgot to mention them, or I've already got them from a chest or something like that. So if you ever find you need the materials, just have a look around the island. 90% of materials are on there. If they're not on this island, just go into the dungeon or onto another island and you should be fine. However, I'm pretty sure I am keeping track of all the things that you need, so hopefully we don't have any mistakes. So yeah, we're going to create 3 generators. We can move them up here onto the grass. If for any reason they're red, you can turn around and it usually allows you to place them the other way. I don't know why, it's a bit temperamental. You'll see it here, it says it's failed and disappears, and I have to pick it up again. But if you face it the other way, facing towards the water, usually you can place them. But we're going to place all 3 generators down, and we're going to use them to create some of the valuable materials that we need. So again, we can collect our wheat bags. You can collect the wheat as well if you like, it's totally up to you. However, we don't need to do that just yet. I'm going to go to our workbench. From our workbench we're going to create some monster prisms under throwing weapons. For the rest of this game tutorial I will be calling them pokeballs, but basically monster prisms. You do need sand to create them. Sand is one of the main ingredients. Now if for any reason you don't have sand, you can get them from normal rocks, but you don't get much. Or if you head left from the docks at the beginning and head over just past those furnaces there is a brown large rock on the beach which gives you lots and lots of sand. Just use your pickaxe on that large stone and you'll get loads and loads of sand from that. There's a couple around the beach, but that's the closest one. So once you've created 10 pokeballs, so again you'll need plenty of sand and also plenty of iron ingots. Once you've created 10, we're going to go and catch some cows. Now I would recommend catching level 1 and 2 cows only, because level 3 cows and level 4 cows are a bit too good for you. I mean that as in that's what they think, they literally just do not stay in the balls. But basically, we're going to put our weapon away by going over to the hand on our equip menu. So make sure you don't have a weapon in your hand. And then we're going to select the Pokeball Monster Prisms from our inventory and equip them. You can either do that by pressing X, or you can move them down to equip menu and just press Y whenever you want. But as long as they're in your hand, we're going to punch the cow once or twice depending on its health. Once its health gets really low, we're going to press our left trigger to throw the Pokeball at it. Again, we are going to use all 10 of the balls here and hopefully have between 5 and 10 cows to play with. Some of them may break 3, and when they break 3 the ball disappears. Again, avoid any level 3 or 4 cows. We want level 1 and 2s. Once we've given them enough damage and they're nearly dead, we're going to throw the monster prisms at them, the Pokeballs. I'm going to call them monster prisms now, aren't I? We're going to catch them with the monster prisms, throw our monster prisms at them, and then collect them off the floor. Again, punch, punch, throw. So punch with right trigger, then left trigger to throw the prism. So punch, punch, throw. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, guys, but you need to catch 10 cows, or around about between 5 and 10 cows. 10's probably for best, but not necessary. So just catch as many as you can with the 10 prisms that you have. And once you've done that, head your way back to the beach. Once we have used up all our blue monster prisms and turn them yellow by collecting our monsters, our cows, again level 1 and 2s, avoiding 3s and 4s. Once we have between 5 and 10, if you don't have between 5 and 10, I'd recommend going creating some more prisms and then coming collect some more. Preferably you want 9 really, however 6 probably isn't too bad. Anyway, once you've collected some, head back down to their generators, select the golden prisms with the cows inside, and then throw them prisms on. Make sure they're the yellow ones with cows inside. Throw them prisms inside the hoops, and that will then put the cows on the generators. They will then create batteries for you, which is an ingredient material that we really need. Collect any bioethanol from the barrel, from the slow cooking facility, and then go and collect all your harvest crops of wheat from the wheat fields. So yeah, collect any bioethanol from the slow facility. I keep forgetting what it's called. The slow cooking facility, yeah, you get the point anyway. Collect your bioethanol from there, collect your wheat bags if you have any, and then come and collect all your wheat from the 16 wheat fields. Cows will take a little time to create the batteries for you. Each cow should create 4 batteries. So they'll do their bit of running. Again, if you need any sand to create more prisms, you can find that on the beach. There's large brown rocks. Anyway, we are going to create some more wheat bags, so just go over to the cooking pot and make some more wheat bags. Wait for your cows to do their work. Your cows will die once they've made 4 batteries, just to make you aware. This is why I advise catching around 10 if possible, but again, you can always go and catch some more, but we need to get at least 4, 8, 12 batteries to start with. We will need to come back and get some more soon, but to start with we just need the 12. It probably is a little bit late to be showing you this now, but I'll show you anyway, just for future reference. If you do need sand, just come across here, and this large brownstone on the edge of the beach here, you can get, it's not infinite, but it's a large amount. So yeah, just come down here, get some sand, and you can use that sand then to make the monster prisms. So yeah, so anytime you need monster prisms, you need some sand, that is the place to go. Don't forget though, you will need plenty of iron ingots to also make the monster prisms. But as long as we have 12 batteries made, we should be fine. We'll collect them very shortly. Make your way to the workbench and make your way down towards the bottom. And we're going to use all the iron that we've just collected, and we're going to create as many cogs as possible. Now I created 74. Hopefully you can create roughly the same amount. You probably need around 70 total, but if you can make more than 70, please do so. But if you don't have enough iron to make 70 ingots, please go and collect some more iron ore from one of your maps, and then come back and create the ingots so that you can make the 70 plus cogs. You may want to pause the video while you collect the iron ore if you needed any to create 70 cogs. You don't want to be going on with the video until you've done that, because you may lose track. Once you come back and you've unpaused the video, if you needed to, we're just going to go around and collect all our wheat again. I know it's getting a little bit tedious, but we do need lots of it. So go around and collect all 16 fields of wheat. Again, punching them is better than using a weapon, just so you don't damage the field. We're going to come down and put all our wheat into a cooking pot. Again, just put max in, or separate them if you like. Collect any bioethanol if you need to, and then come and collect the 12 batteries. Again, if you have any trouble picking anything up, you probably need to delete some stuff. You can either sell it at a market or just destroy it from your inventory by using the multi-select button, which is Y, and then highlighting it with A. But again, you can get rid of any leathers, any talons, any thorns, spikes, whatever they're called. Don't get rid of your bone, you'll need them. So yeah, leathers, talons, spikes, I forget what they're called. Anything like that you will need to get rid of. Don't get rid of your wheat like me. That was a bit of a mistake. So talons, thorns, seeds, anything like that. Leathers really you can get rid of, but any sort of metal or anything that looks valuable, don't get rid of. Anything that I haven't mentioned getting rid of, I wouldn't recommend just doing just yet. But talons, leathers, things like that you can get rid of. Have a walk around, collect any batteries, any fuels, any bioethanols, any wheat sacks, and then we're going to go around and collect all our wheat fields again. They are just about to grow back. If yours haven't grown back just yet, wait, maybe pause the video until they have, then go around and collect them, or maybe collect them and then pause the video, whichever you feel better. Anyway, just go around and collect all the wheat fields once again, so we have plenty of wheat. Again, it may seem tedious, but I promise you, if you were doing this yourself and you hadn't have done it this way, it would have taken you so much longer to do. I calculated all the amount of times that we needed to do this stuff, so you guys can get these achievements as quickly as possible. Again, the only aspect that's going to take the long time on this game achievement guide is the fact that the worlds are random, and it means you needing to find some of them. So yeah, once you have collected all of your wheat, if you have a free cooking pot, put them in there and create some wheat bags. If you don't, you may have to wait for the wheat bags to finish. It's really up to you. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit just so you don't have to watch mine. Once you have finished waiting for your wheat bags and you've put some more in there, go and collect your cogs. Again, you should have 70 there, roughly. Hopefully, fingers crossed you have. Hopefully you might have some spare steel. Now, I would recommend creating a steel chest and placing it in the middle of your beach. Now, it is fireproof, but I would still recommend not putting it anywhere near any fire or explosives. And then I would recommend putting inside the steel safe chest all your cogs, all your batteries, all your bioethanol, and anything that you may consider valuable. I would include feces in that. However, feces do take up one slot per feces, so it might be best just holding on to that if you do have the space. And basically that's it really. So bioethanol you want in that chest, batteries you want in that chest, and also, what else was it? Bioethanol, batteries, and cogs. Sorry, I for some reason cogs completely went over the top on me there. But yeah, so we're going to put 3 more cows on the treadmills. So again, if you don't have 3 cows, you will need to go and catch some. So you will need to create some monster prisms, go over it, and put 3 cows onto the generators. We're going to use whatever wheat bags we have, and we're going to create maximum bioethanol on the slow cooking facilities, or the I forget what they're called. Something facility anyway. But anyway, there's the place where you make bioethanol. We're going to create as much as we can using the wheat bags. Or the wheat flour if you want to be technical. Don't forget to put any of those in this steel box. Just so they're out of the way. And you don't accidentally sell them or lose them. So once you put your goodies in the chest, we are going to go and create some more iron ingots. Just check your iron ore. Hopefully you've got plenty. If not, you might want to go get some now. And basically we're just going to keep topping it up as much as possible. So just create as much iron ingots as possible. Again, you can press Y to craft max, or you can separate them across the 3 furnaces just to speed them up a little bit. So just create as much iron ingots as possible. Once we put our iron ingots in the furnaces, we're going to head back over to our wheat fields, and we're actually going to harvest them again. So hopefully yours have grown back again, and we're just going to harvest them as much as possible. And again, the best way to do this is to use no weapon, just use your fists, run around in a circle, collecting as much of the wheat as possible. Again guys, just while this is doing this, just want to say, if you find this video informative, helpful, and you've maybe got achievements by using our channel in the past, please consider going over and hitting that sub button. The more subs we can get, the more videos we can make, and hopefully you'll consider supporting us today. Again, thanks for watching. Let's carry on. So once you've collected all your wheat, we're going to go back to our cooking pots, and we're going to create as much wheat bags again as possible. So again, you can split them between the 2 cooking pots, or you can just max them in one. You might have more than enough to go onto both anyway. So once you put all your wheat into there, we're just going to head back over towards our furnaces, and we're going to collect as much of the iron as possible. Again, you can leave some in the furnace if it's still not quite ready. So yeah, head back over to the workbench once you've collected some of your iron, and make your way down. Keep scrolling down towards the bottom, and we're going to make some more cogs. This time we're going to make 30, so that we have around about 100. Again, I might be being a little bit over the top, but this is just so you don't have to keep running backwards and forwards. So hopefully you collected enough iron to begin with, and we're going to create some more cogs. We do need cogs later on to do more things too, so it is important that we get them. If for any reason you need to use the workbench, which we do in this case, we're just going to build a new one. So just go to your craft menu from your pause, but from the start menu. So press start, press RB to go to your craft options, go down to workbench, craft a new workbench, and put it next to the original one. Then we're going to go down to conveyor belt, and we're going to use some of the iron ore that we collected to create 30 conveyor belts. Hopefully you didn't use all your iron ore on the cogs. If you did, you will need to just nip it off out of the level to collect some more iron to make those 30 conveyor belts. If you click on the workbench, you can check how many iron ingots you need for those. I don't believe it's too many, but yeah, you'll need 30 conveyor belts and also another 30 cogs. Take some of the wheat and come back over to the slow facilities. Again, I forgot what they're actually called, but the ones that create bioethanol, and split up your cooking between the 2 to create as many bioethanol pots as possible. Collect all your batteries, and we're going to put them back in our chest. So any batteries, any cogs, any bioethanol, put them back into the steel crate in the middle of the beach. And then we're going to head up to the altar to check what ingredients we need to get this next pot. So let's have a quick read. Again, I can't actually see it because the font's so small on my editing program. It's terrible. But so much steel, so much cogs, so much. We've done 30 conveyors, we know that, and 10 salmon pieces. and we're going to work towards them. But as long as you followed along with what I've been telling you so far, you should be absolutely fine. If you do find you need steel, we're going to make some more now anyway. So yeah, let's create the rest of the ingredients that we need here to progress up the age. So we're going to head back down towards the workbench, collecting any bioethanol, any wheat sacks, etc. And we're going to click on the blacksmith, and we're going to go down towards the bottom, and we are going to work towards creating some new armor. So come and get some iron ingots from over at the furnace if you have any. If not, hopefully you already had them on you. And go over to the blacksmith and go down to the very bottom, and we're going to create a female black light armor, or whatever color black light armor you like, as long as it's for your character. Again, I don't know if you create a male character whether or not it will fit, so don't waste them and just make a female one. Equip it from the menu, go over to the store and sell your original clothing. Again, you can quickly do it by pressing X. Get rid of any seeds that you don't need. You don't need any seeds. And sell any weapons that you don't need. Again, make sure you check your weapons for the more powerful ones and sell the less powerful ones. So now I actually have weapons that can go up to 160. So I'm selling all the others but 2 that aren't that good. And jobs are good in. So sell your old clothes and sell any weapons or any seeds that you don't need. Again, if you want to sell any talons, leathers, etc. at this point, that's absolutely fine. Right, so now we are going to make our goodies, our achievements. We can do this by going over to our chest. We will need 5 cogs, 5 bioethanol, and 2 batteries per one. You can press right trigger and drag them down and press right trigger to place them. We're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to do 4 batteries, so bring 4 down, and I'm going to bring 10 bioethanol down. So once you brought 10 of each down, well, 10 of those and 4 of those, drag them over by pressing X, and that will put them into your inventory. Come over to the machine factory, create a hoverboard. That will give you an achievement, and create the motorcycle, and that will give you another achievement. So 2 consecutive achievements, which is absolutely fantastic. So after we've got our achievements, we're going to go over to our workbench, and we're going to use some of the steel that we crafted earlier to make a steel pickaxe. If for any reason you don't have enough steel ingots, you can create them using iron ingots. If you don't have enough iron ingots, you will have to leave the map to another island and go get some or come back and smelt them into iron ingots, and then you can then create iron ingots into steel ingots to then create your pickaxe. Now, I did have a little bit of a run around here, trying to figure out what to do next. I did go over to the market and sell my hoverboard and my motorcycle. The only reason for this is I just don't like them. I just hate how they control. If you like them, that's absolutely fine. By all means, please keep them. Once you actually have your steel pickaxe, make sure that you override the other one by dragging it down from the inventory and then dragging it down on top of that. Then we need to go to any of the islands, because we're going to go and mine some more ore, iron ore, so we can get some more steel. So yeah, I would recommend spending another 10-15 minutes getting as much iron ore as possible. Again, I would always recommend looking around 200 minimum, up to 1,000, but it's completely up to you how much time you want to spend collecting ore around here. But yeah, I would recommend about 200. Again, doesn't matter what map you go to as long as you know that there's iron there. Again, I can't see what maps you've got, so please don't hold that against me. So once you got your 100 iron ore, 200 iron ore should I say, or more, head back to your island, your main island, your home, and make your way across the docks. Once you cross the docks, make your way over to your furnaces over on the left hand side, or wherever you put them really, and just fill your furnaces with as much iron as possible. Again, you might want to split it out across the furnaces if you want it to do quicker, but it's not really necessary. You can just max one out and then put the rest in another, and then another. So yeah, once you put your iron in there, we are good to move on for now. If you press your start button, your pause button, and go over to your missions tab by pressing the triggers, you can actually get rid of or look at all the missions that you've done so far. So just go through them, claim the rewards. Just keep going over and pressing on them to claim the rewards. You should get a little bit of XP, which can help towards leveling up. You can look at the others as well if you want to take a look at them. If you do have a poo at any point, don't forget to pick up your thesis. So just as we're waiting for our iron ingots to smelt in the furnace, we can maybe collect some of our bioethanol, any batteries that we may have forgotten, and pretty much once we've collected those, go and put them in our steel container. And once we've put all our goodies, again, poo as well, any feces put in the container as well, anything really of value. Once you put all that in there, we're going to make our way over to our furnaces, picking up as much steel iron as possible. After we've done that, we're going to head it back over to our workbench, and we're going to go under where the pickaxes and stuff are made, and we're going to create a fishing rod. So it's near where the pickaxes and stuff are, just in case you can't find it. I always struggled to find it even though I knew where it was. But yeah, create a fishing rod, and then we're also going to go and create a fishing saw. I think it's called a fishing saw, or a bone picker saw, or a fillet machine. There you go, you know what I meant. Fillet machine, right. So create a fillet machine and create a fishing rod. Both are on your workbench. Put your fillet machine down just next to your workbench over here, and then equip your fishing rod. If it's not on your quick menu, you need to press pause and go over to it and equip it. You need to press left trigger, I think it is. I am trying to do it by memory. I think it's left trigger to cast. You will need to find a fishing spot. You can see these by fish swimming in the water in a circle and bubbles coming out above the head. Once your fishing rod bobs under the water, you need to press the action button again, and then that will pull the fish out of the water. It can be crabs, it can be fish. All of them are perfect because we can use them all. We just need to take them to the fillet machine and then put them into the fish slot and then fillet them. You'll either get 1 or 2 fillets per fish. You need a total of 10. So once you've got 10, if you don't have enough out of the 3 fish that you caught, we'll need to go and find another fishing spot. Again, there's plenty around the island. I think there's 3 or 4. There's even one up by the shrine if you ever want to go up there. But the next one's just to our right of the docks there. We're going to go there now to get some more fish. In fact, I did go over to the altar to check that it was 10 fillets that I needed. Then just head back to the beach anywhere, like I mentioned, as long as the fish. And then cast your rod. When it dips, you have to press the button to pull out the fish. Again, we need 3 or 4 fish, and we need 10 fillets in total. So we're going to catch these guys, and then we're going to fillet them all afterwards. So just fish those free. Take these fish over to the fillet bench. So yeah, head over to the fillet bench and put in your fish. Again, we need 10 fillets in total. So we just need to hang around just a little while our fish fillet. Our fillet fish. Just keep putting them back in and filleting the next one. And the next one. And hopefully at this point you have 10. If not, you will need to go do a little bit more fishing. Once we've finished with the fillet machine, we're going to head over and collect some iron, and then we're going to convert some of that iron into steel. Hopefully you collected roughly 200. You should have plenty. I only had 130. We're just going to create 20 steel using some of that iron. Again, while you're waiting for that to happen, you can go and do a bit of mining or tree chopping, whatever you think's best. Now I do go and visit the shrine just to check what it is I need to level up next, and you don't need to do that. basically, you're just hanging around waiting for your steel to finish. In fact, just while waiting for steel, we're going to nip over to our steel chest and we're going to take out some cogs. So just head over to the right and grab a pile. Doesn't matter how many, as long as it's more than 10 or 20, I believe. So grab a big pile of cogs. Just waiting for these 20 steel to finish. Once the 20 steel is finished, we need to pick that up. So once our 20 steel is complete, we're going to head over to the altar, the shrine, and we're going to progress the age. Again, we need 20 steel, 10 cogs, 30 conveyors, and 10 fillet fish. And we'll get a new achievement for progressing the age. Achievement unlocked, fantastic. Once we've done that, we're just going to head back down here. In fact, guys, I think that's probably a good time to end part 1 just there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Catch us in part 2 for the rest of the achievements. Please consider hitting that sub button, comment, like, etc. We're very appreciative of all your support. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Boss Fight Gaming. You lose. Game over.